Hey everyone, MacCam89 here, and today we have another, I wouldn't say unboxing, but we have a purchase from Lukie Games. So it's not a mystery box, but we're going to see the condition of these games that I ended up getting. And they're a mixture of various retro consoles, all the way up to the PlayStation 3, if I remember correctly. So let's get right into this one here. There are a good amount of stuff here, and I also have Game Boy Advance games, which I just started collecting for as well, because I did end up finding a super, I think it's called a Super Advance or Super Game Boy Advance. And you actually put the cartridge in your Super Nintendo and you can play advanced games that way. So let's get right into this package here. And the first game up is a NES title, and this is a game that I remember my cousin playing quite a bit. Never owned it as a kid, but I really enjoyed watching him play this game. And as an adult, playing it later on, I did enjoy it. So I've been wanting to play this game again, and it is Rygar for the NES. And you'll see some gameplay footage of this game too. Definitely a very unique game. It is an action platformer side scroller, but there are some top down elements, and there's also kind of a little bit of puzzle solving, and definitely a little bit of back and forth. The overworld there used to confuse me a little bit, but again, enjoyed watching my cousin play that game. It's a game that he did beat eventually, not a game that I personally beat, but maybe we can change that in the near future here. All right, next up is a PSP title. It's another console that I am collecting for now, and this seems to be in really nice condition. One thing I will say about Lukie Games is they typically do send out some high quality stuff, especially when I buy from them. At least for the games. Um, can't say I've had a similar experience buying like PS3 controllers from them, but the games have been top notch. Everything I've ever gotten from them has always worked, always been in really good and clean condition. And this is Rainbow Six. Now, I did get this on the cheap because I hear this is actually not a very good port of a very good game. But you know what? I wanted to try for myself. Being newly collecting into the PSP um, system, that I wanted to try it out. And this, I figured this was cheap enough where we could experiment and see if it's as bad as they say it is. So Rainbow Six Vegas on the PSP, one of my favorite games on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 eras. And I think there's going to be a decent amount of PSP stuff in here. So next up is a Super Nintendo title and another game that I've been itching to play, and that is Judge Dredd on the Super Nintendo. This is a pretty cool game. I have played it. I've never actually owned the Super Nintendo version. I think at one point I owned the Sega Genesis version and sold it a while back, but was doing a little bit of research. People were saying that the Super Nintendo version was the way to go, so I figured pick up this one. Don't remember what I paid for it, but it wasn't that expensive. And Judge Dredd on the Super Nintendo seems like a pretty cool game. Also, really good condition. Like I say, with them, their stuff is usually pretty top notch. All right, and the next game is a original PlayStation title. And recently, I was playing Road Rash 2 in the Sega Genesis. And I'm like, you know what? I'm getting itching to play some PS1 Road Rash games, and we got a complete in box, very very nice jewel case version. It is the greatest hits version, but not a big deal. And you can see they're very very nice condition here. Road Rash on the original PlayStation, very very fun game. And I think, in my opinion, this is probably one of the better ways to play this game is on the original PlayStation. I have a version of it on the Sega Saturn as well. Obviously, not the legit copy. That one plays pretty good as well, but from what I understand, the PlayStation one is the best one to go with. All right, next up is another PSP title. Now, I really enjoyed the first one, so I definitely wanted to go out and get the second one of this one, and this is SOCOM U.S. Navy SEALs Fireteam Bravo 2. Really, really enjoyed the PlayStation 2 titles and tried for the first time a few months ago the first version of this one here and really was enjoying that on the PSP. Again, complete in box, very, very nice, clean copy. Don't expect anything less from Lukie Games. Very, very great service. I highly recommend them. All right, and I'll grab a first of the Game Boy Advance games, and this is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the Game Boy Advance. I think this is a like a beat 'em up akin to the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis days or early Nintendo days. So really interested to find that. Again, we'll have some gameplay footage of that. So really cool to get this on the Game Boy Advance. And the next one up is another Game Boy Advance game. I think I was just kind of looking. I really wanted the Turtles game, but I was looking for some other cheap titles to kind of test out that new Super Game Boy Advance that I had picked up. And this is Justice League Chronicles on the Game Boy Advance. Again, very, very nice clean copy, as well as the Ninja Turtles one. Right. And moving on, we have our first PlayStation 3 title. And if you've been following this channel, you know that that's kind of the only console that I'm really may try going for a complete set on. And we have Crisis 2 on the PS3. Now, I know that these games do not play well on the consoles at all, but I still wanted to get them. There are also better ways to play this game. Other than playing it on PC, you can see it's complete in box. Very, very nice, clean copy. Other than playing it on PC, you can also, they remastered the first three games. So you can actually play them on your new Xbox consoles. You can play it on the PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, I believe. So there are better ways to play these games, but I'm a glutton for punishment, and I do like enjoy going back and seeing how these games perform on the older consoles. So I'll probably at some point end up beating it on the PS3. All right, we have a couple more here, and then we're almost done. Continuing our PlayStation 3 quest here. This is a game that I do enjoy. It's not for everybody, especially if you're more into the Call of Duties. This is a little bit more realistic, more tactical, uh, in amazing condition. And this is Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising. Now, there is another one, Operation Flashpoint Red River, I think it's called. And that one I actually really, really enjoy. Doesn't look the best on consoles. It looks way better on PC. But that's an amazing game. And I do remember slightly playing this particular one back in the day, but I don't remember how well I enjoyed this one, although I do really enjoy Red River. So, like, you know what? I don't have this game. Let's get it. It's a great, cheap game to get. And if you love tactical or a slower paced shooter, this is the series to go with. Very, very cool. And you could use vehicles and things like that to complete your objectives. And so far, everything that I've gotten out of this package has been in amazing condition. Like, these are really clean. I'm so used to getting mystery box games where there's all kinds of grime. There's not even like sticker residue or anything on these. Not saying that you're always going to get this experience, but so far, every order that I've gotten from them with games has been amazing. I've even gotten sealed, now it's a baseball game, but I even got a sealed baseball game. I think it was Triple Play 2000 or 2001, and it's still sealed. I'm going to eventually crack it open, especially it being baseball season now. I'm going to save I do have a Sega Genesis game. I'm going to save that as last because I actually got that game for free. The other cool thing about Lukie Games is you get points, and you can spend those points in order to get free games. So it's a good incentive to buy from them. Also, the other thing with them, and typically what I do is I buy. I try to get over $25 because if you do $25, it's free shipping. So you save a couple extra bucks doing that as well. All right, and the next one is Madden 2005, another cheap game. but I wanted to try out a Madden game on the Game Boy Advance. Madden 2005, we know that that's one of the best Maddens to ever come out, even to this day. Is the Game Boy Advance game going to be that good? Probably not, but it was cheap enough for me to try out. So Madden 2005 again, fantastic condition. Cannot complain about that at all. We'll have to find something to do with all these Game Boy Advance games. This one is also another cheap game, but I figured this would be a really cool game to play because I really enjoy board games and this is Risk. It's a combination Risk, Battleship, and Clue, which are all three games that I really enjoy. Again, nice cheap title for the Game Boy Advance. Something that I can play with the kids on the Super Nintendo there with the Super Game Boy Advance, I guess it's called. All right, and I think we're getting down to the wire here. So let me just see if there's anything else hidden in the corners. There is not. So we've got two more titles. This is a very good PS3 game. Now, a lot of people did not like this because it changed up the gameplay quite a bit. However, I enjoyed it back in the day and enjoyed the story. And that is Red Faction Armageddon on the PS3. And you can see again, very, very nice, clean copy here. All complete in box. So, very, very nice. And again, we're going to have gameplay footage of all the games here. That way you know that the games actually worked as well. But this is a game that I beat back in the day and I really enjoyed it. It is very different than the other Red Faction game that came out during that time period as well. I believe, if I remember correctly, it got rid of a lot of that destructibility and kind of that open worldness. This one is kind of, you know, point A to point B. It was really kind of that Gears of War style type of game, but I still really enjoyed it. I know it took a lot of heat back in the day. So we do have one last game, and this is a game that I got for free and also in very, very good condition here, and that is Vector Man. Now, you could always save up your points. I don't think they expire. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but you can build them up and then you can get more expensive games if you want to. So I ended up going with Vector Man there. I know this is a pretty good, it's not a very expensive game, but for free, I think it's a very good game, especially to get for free. Vector Man on the Sega Genesis. So that was all of my pickups through Lukie Games. I know I had promised last month I was going to release this video, but I had put in a late order and I wanted just to do everything all at once there. So what was your favorite game from all these pickups? I think there was a very, very good variety here. PS1, PS3, Super Nintendo, NES, Sega Genesis, PSP. We got a good variety of games here. Is there a favorite of mine amongst this? Not really. It's gonna be hard to choose because these are games that I chose, so I know that they're games that I'm gonna play and that I actually wanted in my collection. So you let me know in the comment section below, how did I do, and what's your favorite game from all this? And as always, happy gaming. God bless you guys. Have a great one.